Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through my plans for November. If you've been here before, you know that every month I set myself a personal art challenge, and October's personal art challenge was people. I really enjoy drawing people apparently, and so for November my plan is to do portraits. Not just portraits, self-portraits. This makes me really nervous. I feel like I should probably show you why I've come up with this idea. Be prepared to be shocked. I'm not sure, can you see the likeness? That one's not too bad, but then I'm not sure I see the likeness there. And so I figured actually it was time to start focusing on self-portrait. Now, obviously, I can just sit there and I can just draw my face in a mirror again and again and again. But I feel like actually it's important to take some learnings from other resources. And so for this month, I will also be using the resources in Craftsy, who are the sponsors of today's video. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative. They have over 2,000 classes available, which means that there is a creative class for every member. I personally think that you'll love the art classes that they have available. And if you want to work on portraits with me this month as well, 3 classes that I found on Craftsy that have caught my eye and we'll be starting with are Simple Techniques for Better Portraits, which is taught by Alicia Delosto, Radiant Portraits in Colour Pencils by Callie Burks, and Drawing Facial Expressions by Gary Fagan. So my hope is that Alicia's class is going to help me to really focus on getting a realistic look to my portraits, because you've probably heard the comments that I've relayed to you about David's take on my portraits drawings. I do also think that Gary's class on drawing facial expressions will help me to capture more than a grimace, because when I am drawing myself, well, I'm told that it looks like I'm miserable and grimacing. So I'm going to be taking that on board and making self-portraits that are convincing, that look like me. And then of course, you know how much I love to work with colour pencils, and so I think that Callie's class will help me to create at least one self-portrait in colour pencil that I can feel proud of. If you also want to watch on your own time with classes that are broken down into short, easy to follow lessons, then join Craftsy today using the QR code on screen or my link in the video description. The first 1,000 of you to click the link in the video description will get a full year of premium access to Craftsy for only $1.49. This offer is valid for new members only, and a big thanks to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. So now that you know what my focus is going to be, shall we talk about sketchbooks, materials, and inspiration? So let's dive in and take a look. Okay, so this month, in terms of inspiration, this is a bit of a weighty gathering. I'm actually not going to look at specific artists or have any reference books because it is essentially self-portrait. I'm gonna go back to my old sketchbooks, and that's another reason why I really want to focus on self-portraits this month. I don't very often go through my old sketchbooks because they're stored in a cupboard, but recently I was having a tidy up and I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to review the progress that I've made. So this is where we're at. 22nd of October. This is my current sketchbook, which you'll see a full recap of. I think it's the next video that comes out, because we're not at the end of October yet. So this was another bath portrait done on the 22nd, and this is literally me sitting in the bath in this mostly darkness. I have candles and I have a mirror in front of me, and I'm just trying to work with the light and the shadow. And I mean, it doesn't look like me, I don't think, but it's an interesting way to capture a moment of me. I know that it was a not particularly happy period because October's always a struggle for me, and so having a bath is quite often like my little self-care routine. And I can see from this that, you know, I wasn't a happy Evie. I'm waffling, I'm gonna stop now. So I want to, this was a beginning, so it was a prep page, so working from this, but I want to, because it is self-portrait, so it's all about me, I also want to take on board things that I do love and don't love about the way that I work. So we've got a sketchbook here from May and July 2024. If I have flip throughs of these sketchbooks, I will add them in the description because it's just going to be easier that way. So this was May 2024. I remember doing this. We were at King's Day, Koningsdag, and well, I have no word. This one was later May, a self-portrait. I was doing, I think it was Kuretake month, and so I painted myself. And then we have, this is my daily sketchbook 3, February to April 2024. I would think I've only got one page bookmarked in here. I remember this one was before that. It was the self-portrait session with Emma Carlisle. I remember sending it to my dad afterwards and he guffawed heartily. And those were the 2 others that we did in that session. You can see already the difference between these and this, but while it's different, there's also similarities. It's clearly me that did this. Okay, here's another portrait that I did more recently. I think you've seen this in my recent sketchbook flip through. So that's what I am thinking about in terms of showing you where I'm at now. So this was a couple of weeks ago, this was a few days ago. But I also want to take on board other things that are very me. So like color and style. So this illustration drawing of this person, I quite like this. I like the use of smaller negative space. I like the color pencil, and I like the simplicity of the style. This is important in terms of when I say negative space or the white space, I like this smaller amount. Contrast that with this. I remember when I first drew this, I liked it quite a lot. Now I can't stand it. It's sweet, I suppose. This was in November 2024, so almost a year ago, I guess. And there's too much white space. The colour selection is, you know, it's nice, but there's too much white space. This is not who I am. And I do want, when I'm saying about self-portraits, obviously I'm going to be doing facial portraits, but also self-portrait as in me in situ in a space. I'll get David to either take a photo, or I'll have the mirror in a certain way so I can see it from a distance, so it'll be a bit more stylized, and that's why this is also relevant. And then, so this is one of my very first sketchbooks that I shared here on this channel, and again, I haven't looked at this sketchbook for some time, but look at that page of color. Look at that page of color. The colour makes me so happy. And this was acrylic inks, watercolour, gouache, watercolour pencil and crayon. Obviously for me, it's just, you know, that's not my style in terms of it's very abstract. I don't know what it was. What was I doing? I don't remember. It was 2023. But the colour is beautiful. I'm going to scan these in and then print them so I have them to hand. This page particularly, this is my Moleskine sketchbook. I haven't written the date on it, but look at that. I remember doing this. This was in November 2024. David was playing chess with my dad online, and I had just gotten out a whole bunch of colours and having lots of fun. Acrylic gouache probably swatches here. They're quite bright, so I probably carried it on here. But that colour, is that not just the most incredible colour? This is so me. I feel like I think there's only one page here that I bookmarked and get it to open. Different for colour. It's not as vibrant as what I am drawn to, but I particularly like the texture, the translucency of the layers. This was acrylic put down with a wedge, and I'm going to find the wedge out and I'm going to utilize it this month, because while the colours aren't shouting out like woohoo to me, but the translucency of the layers is, and I want to play with that translucency within self-portrait, because I really like it. It's just, it doesn't feel like me because of the lack of orange and pink probably. And then finally for this, we have this one you will have seen recently as well, because this is recently finished. I think this was June. Got an underpainting. The vibrancy of the colour, this is dry pastels, you know, the chalky ones. Portrait of my dad, colour, underpainting, colour. So it's got that warmth. I'm clearly drawn to warmth. And here, particularly this one, you can see in comparison, where's the too much white space, no white space, but the colour is there, and the texture, putting the neo colours over the gouache. So I want to take all that on board. I know it's very, very wordy, and obviously with the craftsy classes I want to work through as well before the end of this month, so I'm ready, because we're still in October, so I have them for November. My plan is, in terms of materials, obviously my go-tos will be the gouache palette, my watercolours, oil pastels. I've got these acrylics, which I think you saw in a recent art haul. I've got some jelly plated papers for some collage fun. I've also got my pack, which this is basically, it goes everywhere with me at the moment. I've been using these for some sketches, like life drawings, sketches. We have a graphite set so that I can do more quick drawings or more tonal studies. Got a couple of my favourite acrylic markers nearly run out. This is the light orange. It gives a really nice warm glow, the underpainting that I said already. And then pencils, of course, plenty of pencils. Oh, there's my gouache palette. I wondered where it had gone. It's fallen to the bottom. Nothing is off limits for materials this month. For me, it's more about finding my style, my voice, whatever you want to call it, something that's me. But for sketchbooks, I've got this A3 Jackson's one that I got a while ago, and the paper, the first page is a bit mished, but I thought this would be good for putting on my easel. I have a drawing board that I can put on my easel. I can do big drawings, I can do small drawings. The paper in this is really, I haven't bought another one because the paper in this was so trashed when it arrived. Then of course we have my, you would have seen this one for People Month when I did the intro. So it has faces in it, not mine of course. But this is a nice paper, this is the white, so it's definitely nicer than this. So we'll use this probably. For colour pencils, because I will do colour pencil studies as well, we've got this is quite thick paper, so it might work for watercolour studies. Then, because I want to have at least one good drawing or painting, whatever we're calling it, per week, this one is going to be for acrylic. Like, I'm not joking when I say I'm really going to be pushing myself this month. Then we have the Moulin de Roy cotton for a watercolour version. And then I also got out my Strathmore sketchbook, which I'm not a fan of this paper. I don't use it very often, as you can see. I started it in 2022. That's how old it is, in August. So 3 years I've had this sketchbook, and I haven't done much with it because I'm not a fan of it. But I think for playing with watercolour, it should be, the paper's thicker. One side is textured, the other isn't. So I'll probably use the untextured side for each of them. So there's that. And I think that's it. Oh no, this is the one I was going to show you. So you may have already seen this. I can't remember if I showed it to you in a recent video, but this is a little See Whites of Brighton sketchbook that I found back at my parents' home, my childhood home, and each page is prepped with something different. So we have light orange Posca, we have a pink Posca, we have the Amethyst Genuine from Daniel Smith, this is Neocolor 2's Washed Out, this is Gouache, this is Neocolor 1, so that'll be a Resist, this is Watercolor, and this is Oil Pastel Scrubbed Out. My plan is to do a self-portrait on every single one of these, so I can see, like, I know all the colors are different. I probably should have used the same color in different materials, but I want to fill it with self-portraits of some sort and see how I get on with the different bases. I'm so sorry if this seems to be a little bit all over the place. I've been really, I think that's why I need this project for this month, because I feel like it's something I can do and it's not scary or overwhelming, because I quite often will just sit there and draw myself. So I feel like it's a good way to take something that I know myself, but further explore my style, materials, things that I don't do a lot of for whatever reason because of time. I think this month is going to be a good month for me. I hope all that made sense. If you've got any questions, please do pop them down in below. Thank you so much for watching this until the end. Big thanks to Craftsy for sponsoring this video, and I will report back at the end of the month with how I got on. Yeah, and hopefully it goes well. Don't forget to give the video a like if you made it this far. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Take care. Bye.